I ended up at Howard University because in my senior year, I had a friend who was a freshman, and I actually had not even applied to Howard. She said, come on out to homecoming with me. So myself, her twin brother, and another friend of ours all got our tickets, and we were flying to DC. And as soon as I got on the metro, on the subway, and I walked up and was on Georgia Avenue, that's right outside of the gates of Howard University, I felt this electrifying feeling. The closer I got to campus, and once I finally was able to step on the yard, I was sold. I have to go to this school. I haven't applied. I didn't even know about the application process because I had already been accepted at other HBCUs, Florida A&M, Southern University, a few predominantly white institutions, Texas Tech, Southwest Texas, but as soon as I got back from homecoming, I told my parents I have to apply. Homecoming sold it for me because to see all of those black people in one space at what time? We had just had our homecoming at my high school, but I was the only black cheerleader on our varsity squad. So to see all of these black cheerleaders, these beautiful brown faces everywhere, I had to go. I didn't care what it took. So I went to my counselor's office the week after we returned and applied to Howard. And I got my acceptance letter in the spring. And I still have the acceptance letter. My mom made this huge binder for me of all these pivotal moments on my journey to Howard. And I ended up there and knew I wanted to be the next Oprah and do my own shows. But the Howard experience was one that I will never forget, and it has forever changed me. The conversation about HBCUs in my household, my dad was a proud alum of Prairie View A&M University, and he always told myself and my siblings that Prairie View produces productive people. And I had received a Prairie View blanket, I had received Prairie View paraphernalia, I had gone to the parade at Prairie View, but when I came to him and I said I wanted to go to Howard, it wasn't like it was sacrilegious. He basically said, as long as you're going to a school where you're going to be educated. I've heard a lot of things about Howard. He shared with me information about prestigious alum that had attended the school. He was very supportive. So the conversation was not just going to an HBCU. It was making sure that once you get to this HBCU that you're maximizing every opportunity you have to surround yourself with productive people and to be a productive person. So the conversation was there, and it was nurtured from a very young age. I was nurtured from a very young age, and I'm just grateful that I was able to, even though it wasn't Prairie View, and he may have had feelings about that, he still supported. My mother at the time, she was just all thinking, my baby's going so far away. But her comment to me was, if anybody can go away, it's Kendra. So I really grew up in a very nurturing home. So the conversation was just go out there and leave your mark, do your thing. The Howard experience is live. It makes you feel alive. It's electrifying. The professors are challenging. I have never been in, I don't have much to compare it to because I was there for both undergrad and graduate, but the Howard experience is live. The games, the homecomings, the classes, if there are issues on campus with the administration building, it's live. You have people that are protesting, you have people who are selling t-shirts from the trees on the yard, you have people who are selling popsicles, you have music that's playing, people that are dancing just randomly in the middle of the yard. It's a fashion show. It's live at all times, so you have to be prepared. It's also, no, it's just live. That's what it is. It made you feel alive. It was live. It still is live. I've been going to homecoming consistently since 2000. I've only missed 2. It's what it is. The Howard experience also is live because wherever I go, no matter if it is professionally, personally, I either meet someone who went to Howard, know someone that's at Howard, has a child that's interested in Howard, or someone who has just heard wonderful things about Howard. So we're all interconnected. So it's live for that reason, that it transcends so many different things. But I have friends that I could call on right now, and they'll be like, yo, what you up to? Just randomly, so it's live for that. I'm pretty sure that every school has a saying where it's that song, I'm so glad I went to whatever school. But with Howard, it was, I'm so glad I went to Howard U and not a white school, or not your school. And the first time they said this, I'm at a football game thinking, did we really just say that? But I'm saying it, fist in the air, vibing like this. I'm like, okay, well, I'm here at Howard. I also was a cheerleader at Howard, so the games were live. I went from doing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 to shake it, and all this rolling stuff. Like, I didn't understand it at first, but I'm like, I'm so glad to be unapologetically black in this space at this time in DC. It was buzzing. I guess one of the most exciting experiences at Howard was I was in my School of Communications class for radio production, and Harry Belafonte and a few other very prestigious actors had come on campus to speak, and I called my dad. And when I called him, I said, Dad, guess who's in here speaking? He was like, well, put me on the phone. I need to tell him about something. And I'm thinking, put you on the phone? He's my dad, so I did it. And I reached out and said, my dad is a huge fan. Can you at least say hello? He took my phone. He said hello to my dad. And that will always be, that will always have a special place in my heart, because my dad has been gone for 15 years now. He passed a year before I graduated and a month before my 21st birthday. So at Howard, it was all family. This man, huge star, took an opportunity to speak to a little small town girl's dad to make his day, and it's just special. It's all the feels, all the feels. I lost my father when I was 20. Most people, they 21 years old, getting excited for what bar they're gonna hit or what club they're gonna hit. I was sitting outside of my job, which was working with inner city youth there, and it was the first summer I decided not to come home. Like, I'd come home every single summer, and he passed 10 days after his 49th birthday. But what Howard did for me was affirm the belief that you have to continue to push on. The professors, my classmates, some of my best friends in the entire world, I made at Howard. They're from New York and California and Ohio and DC, and they loved on me even while I was away from what I thought was my only family. They became my family. I have adopted aunts and uncles that would check in on me, and following the death of my father, not only did I obtain 1 degree, I got a scholarship and I obtained my 2nd degree. So the HBCU experience is more than just going to class and getting an education. You are actually getting these nuggets about life, the good, the bad, the ugly. You learning how to finesse the system in certain ways, making sure you're validated, making sure that you know your professors, but in the midst of everything, it's all love. It's all love, and I'm just grateful. I was sharing this with a friend earlier. I look back on that experience as one where it's a love-hate relationship. You got those highs and lows about it, but you better not touch my HBCU. Anybody says anything about Howard, it's done. That's when my little East Coast come out. I'm sure Southern twang, but don't say nothing about my HBCU. I am from the city of enchantment, Lake Jackson, Texas. Proud graduate of Howard University in Washington, D.C. 2 times. And my major for my bachelor's is radio production, and my master's was in elementary education with a focus on curriculum and instruction. My name is Kendra Waters, a Howard Bison for life. R-H-U, you know, and my degrees, both are black.